banished from Earth Classic Game Room broadcasts from the Intergalactic Space Arcade on its never-ending mission to review everything. Welcome back to the show. It's Classic Game Room, where I'm bringing you the review of a must-have Game Boy Advance game. This is KURU KURU KURURIN, where you play a blue duck who flies a helicopter into walls. You're gonna love this. Fight the power! It's blue duck time in KURU KURU KURURIN for the Game Boy Advance. A wonderful puzzle game that may cause you to go into extreme gamer rage, so just be careful. Play in a padded room, if possible. Alright, let's start with this level, which took me about 50 or 60 tries to get through. And I finally did it here during this take. So while we're watching, let me explain. This is a game where you play a blue duck who's piloting a giant helicopter through tight spaces. Really, I thought only Airwolf could do such things, but no, apparently this blue duck can do it too. But can it fly upside down into a volcano while machine gunning bad guys? Probably not. In any event, I reviewed the sequel to this game a while ago, Kururin Paradise, and loved it. So I was extremely pleased to see this copy arrive from Bennett in Burlington, Iowa, who also sent Kururin Paradise. This is basically the same game with different levels and less features. So what you're doing is flying through these mazes, carefully avoiding the sides, while trying to rescue your friends or family members who are scattered throughout the game for some reason. It sounds easy, right? Well, it's not.
Yes, about goddamn time.
This is merciless and incredibly fun. Sadly, it never received an American release. This is the European version. But since the Game Boy Advance has no region encoding, there's no problem. This has wonderful music and delightful visuals that always make it a pleasure to play, even though after a while, after a few levels, you'll want to throw your Game Boy out the window. It starts off easy and then quickly tests your reflexes and patience, as you're trying to pilot this thing through mazes where it really doesn't belong.
This game is evil.
In addition to picking up your friends, you also collect some cans of spray paint and whatnot to decorate your flying helicopter thing. Which is a nice feature. Obviously, I like this game, so I'm going to recommend it. For what it's worth, I think it's a lot more fun to play on the Game Boy Advance SP than the GameCube Game Boy player. I can never quite get the feel of it on the TV. And I like the D-pad better on the Game Boy Advance SP. KURU KURU KURURIN is a cheerful game, deceptively difficult, but really well made and very, very playable. It saves your high scores, and I think there's even some multiplayer features. Maybe a death match against Airwolf. If you take any damage along the way, those heart tiles will repair you. And you're obviously trying to get through the maze as quickly as possible. Holding down the A or B button will speed you along. Holding them both down together will make you go turbo speed right into the wall and crash and explode. Alright, spikes. Now I can attack people with this thing in a bar fight. So a big thanks to Keenan from Burlington, Iowa for sending this to the show, along with the other two KURURIN games. They're really good, and I highly, Highly recommend either this one or Kururin Paradise. You may have to import them, but I think it's worth it, so check it out. On the Game Boy Advance.
Oh.